Hello, everyone. And before we begin, thank you very much to Jeremy D for joining the Patreon campaign over at patreon.com/TJOmega. All of the support helps me out tremendously, even if it's just $1. Even if you're just hitting the like and subscribe buttons, that helps me a lot too. I do appreciate all the ways that people help me, because it is genuinely what allows me to keep continuing this constant streak of content and this crazy train I am on. So thank you for letting the train continue down the track. So it's a news roundup time. We got a ton of different stories to talk about and a ton of reveals to go over this week. And oh boy, there's some interesting stuff at the back end of this video. Don't tune out early. This is going to get weird. But let's talk first about Hasbro. And they spoke about the future of the Transformer and G.I. Joe comic book license. We have confirmed that, yeah, IDW is out. They're not ready to announce who the new licensing partner is going to be, but it seems like they already have it seems like the contract's already been signed, and they're having discussions about the creative direction, meaning, it's already in the works right now. So whoever's got it is already working on it. And they admit, there's going to be, things we're familiar with, but they want to reinvent things too, which is good to hear. Fresh take on storyline, that's desperately needed. They want to, interestingly enough, it feels like they want to go with a small starting cast of 2 or 3 main characters and then flesh things out as they go along, which for a fresh start, yeah, that's actually a good approach. One thing about IDW 2.0 that I really think fell flat was the fact that they threw so many characters at you at once. For something that was supposed to be a stepping on point for new fans or people that didn't want to go through 11 years of IDW 1.0 comics to get caught up on the story, they really made it unfriendly to you if you weren't already in the know about all these characters they threw at you all at once. So it was overwhelming. Okay, so to dial it back and focus on just a few characters to start like Cyberverse did, not a bad idea. Hasbro also threw a interesting little tidbit out here. As far as toys are concerned, we at times will try to incorporate some of the artistic designs of toys, but it's important to us that the integrity of the storytelling always be what's driving the narrative. So we're never going to just say, oh, well, Hasbro's releasing a new toy, so we'll put it in this comic, like an advertisement. We don't do that. IDW 1.0 Starscream and his constantly changing bodies, including a random Armada body right around Thrilling 30's release, and Geoxys subsequently remodeling himself to match that body for no apparent reason. IDW Blur showing back up in the Beast Wars comic book right in time for the Velocitron line to be announced. The entirety of the Speedia storyline in IDW 2.0. No. Hasbro absolutely meddles in the storyline. Maybe not the overall story, but they do. They absolutely do. Let's not kid ourselves here. There is executive meddling, which is never good for a licensed book, but it does happen, and we know the right writers can work around it and make it work. So hopefully it's not terribly intrusive. After IDW 2.0, I'm kind of optimistic for the future of Transformer comics. I'm hoping for the best here. So let's move on to something we actually have a visual representation of, just to get some of the weird ones out of the way. So the Royal Stamp Collection got revealed at TF Nation. So we have what I didn't expect. It's all classic Marvel style, which I guess equates to Marvel UK books as well. Optimus, let's see. So we have Optimus Prime and Megatron. Megatron, the comic book gray head. Bumblebee with the comic book gold face. Starscream with his all blue head. Yeah, it's the design I did not expect. And then we have another set which is Grimlock and Shockwave pairing off, classic. And then RC versus Soundwave, and I don't remember RC being a big player in the comics at all. So it's a weird inclusion for her, and weirder still, Unicron. Unicron seems to be destroying Cybertron in the background, And RC and Soundwave don't seem to care much. They're far more focused on each other. Guys, look behind you. Look. There's a thing. There's a thing you should be paying. You know what? Never mind. You're doing your own thing. I'm not gonna tell you how to live your life, which I think Unicron's about to end. I believe we have Dinobots too, but they don't have like prices on those stamps, so I'm not actually sure how this works. Well, like, they might. I think they're just commemorative stamps actually. So, but still, yeah, there's a ton of stuff. It's a weird thing to know that like there's like an official royal stamp collection, for Transformers. But hey, everyone collects their own things, right? All right, let's move on. We got a little bit of a leak going here, so. Revenge of the Fallen Leader Class The Fallen for Studio Series has been at least proven to exist in one of the worst mangled alt mode or whatever, like whatever this thing is trying to do. It's one of the worst shots we've ever had of a toy that is not yet announced. I'm not sure what this is going for. So, Pretzel McTwisty here. Aside from the leader class price point, we see that he does have a removable head, so he can actually give you his face. Also, someone pointed out to me that the unhelmeted face actually looks like a Shocker grunt from Kamen Rider, and I can't unsee that now. I will never be able to unsee that. It's not shown with any accessories. I'm fairly positive the staff is going to be included, so this is one reason why I don't like early leak stuff, because you don't get the right first opinion of a character, of a toy, and then a lot of people just kind of write it off and never look back, which is not a fair assessment. So hopefully we get a good look at this soon. We do have a Hasbro Fan First thing coming up, so fingers crossed that is actually going to provide us what we really need here. But yeah, Fallen on the way. All right, the Transformers Heavy Metal augmented reality game has announced its sunset. It is closing up everything on August 31st. Did you play it? Neither did I. Moving on. Okay. I'm doing that for the sake of a laugh. I mean, I know literally nobody who played it. True, but there's still a development team behind that put a lot of man hours into it just for it to ultimately fail. So, like, respect to them for trying. But I guess it's just, we're not going to be Pokemon Go, you know? Much as we would love to. No one's going to be Pokemon Go. All right. Thank you, Takara Tomy, for giving us some really nice clear photos of the upcoming Beast Wars reissues. We'll start with K9, who is looking very, very nice and very much like the original. I can't really spot much differences, other than I'm pretty sure the original had its waist transformed correctly. The thing about K9 here is I just got in Wolfang, and Wolfang does have a few parts on him that are a little bit looser than I would like. Like, nothing crippling, but also I could definitely use some better tolerances in the joints, especially in the missile storage. Like, the missiles are supposed to store in his back and then poke through the belly like spikes. Mine doesn't do that. They do not hold in at all. So hopefully that gets amended. Hopefully after the first run of Wolfang, they tightened up a few tolerances a little bit or made some adjustments so we can actually get like a really solid figure. Because I actually do like Wolfang and K9 as figures. It's just a little bit disappointing that mine, I think, could have been a little bit better. And they also showed off Iguanus, which, contrary to some expectations, is just the basic class Iguanus again. It's important to remember Hasbro views a few certain characters as part of the original cast, even though they didn't make the cut in the show. And Iguanus is one of them, hence why there was a Transmetal 2 Iguanus. It's a now, if you don't know, it's a heavy retool of the Gator Megatron, which is the only way I've ever experienced this toy in the past. Though I do have it mint in box behind me. It's not a bad little figure. It's just a shame it's going to be a $25 figure. I hate that Hasbro is still doing that after Rat Trap like completely tanked. So hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully we can all wait and find this thing on clearance, because it's definitely not going to be worth 25 bucks. Well, I really hate that pricing scheme. I really do. All right, let's move on to something else. Thank you, Takara Tomy, again, where Hasbro drops the ball, Takara Tomy runs with it. I feel like we're back in the days where Takara Tomy just has to do better than Hasbro. It used to be with paint and accessories. Now it's with reveals. So they have actually given us proper looks at all of the, or well, all, 2 of the upcoming Legacy Deluxes that we previously got reveals of. So, dead end here, we can actually see he's got his guns in this shot. Oh my god, he's got twin guns. It's so silly. I don't know what Hasbro was thinking by not showing everything the toy had and did right off the bat. Like there's some massive trade secret that goes on to how those guns were engineered. It's absurd. It's absurd. We can just all move on from that now. He looks, yeah, and then the alt mode. They didn't show us the alt mode shots either. Thank you, Papa Takara. Yeah, and he looks good. He looks really nice. He looks like his classic vehicle mode. You know, like a little bit stylized so he can avoid any kind of trademark issues, but he works. He works. The only thing on this one that's a little bit sus right now is those feet. And like, okay, as long as they hold him up, I don't really care. But also, they look like a whole bunch of nothing holding him up. They look like just 2 flat panels. He's standing on 2 little flat panels instead of proper feet. But that's really like my only takeaway here. So, yeah, he's got to form the left arm of Metasaur. Guys, I've got Motormaster now. I've done that arm trick with drag strip. It works so nice. It's such a cool little trick. I can't wait to do it on both arms. Yeah, Stundaconds cannot come out fast enough. All right. We also got... Oh, hang on. I'm jumping the gun here. I forgot we could look at Blanker as well. Blanker proportionally still looks a little bit weird to me in the midsection. Someone also pointed out that he has no like bicep rotation, though he'll have rotation below the elbow, I'm sure. It is a little bit weird. It's a little bit weird how they've engineered him. But more importantly, he actually does come with his Target Master. We can actually see the Target Master this time. All right, and we can see the vehicle mode. The vehicle mode actually does look nice. Can I get it? There we go. That's the shot I was looking for. Yeah, looks like a proper update to his original vehicle mode. I have no idea who they could ever retool him into, but he looks good for what he is. Well, I can think of a few. I can think of a few now that I think about it. Drift, Boss. Let's go back to his Target Master. I've seen a lot of people upset that the Target Master is just this simple. And I ask you, like, what did you expect? It's a Target Master. It's a 3-piece toy. It is the torso, the legs, and the barrel, with the legs and barrel flipping over to create a rudimentary gun mode. Did you expect full articulation on these? Because that's how we got Battle Masters. Do you remember Battle Masters? Right? So, you remember how many Target Master characters came out during Titan's Return that did not have their guns and did not have their characters? And then Hasbro wanted us to pay $8 each separately in order to get each and every one of their weapons as individual toys. It was terrible. It was terrible. Like, I don't really need Target Masters to be some huge, complex, like super involved figure that is a worthwhile toy in itself. It is an accessory to the gimmick of the character. So this, I think, is fine. It's better painted and better sculpted than the original, so it's not like it's a downgrade from the original Target Master. It's fine. You know, I really have no issue with it. It does everything it needs to do, and I don't have to buy it individually. You know, this is basically how I felt like all the Target Masters should have been done. And if this is an indication that we might get more Target Masters down the line that actually function this way, bring it on. Bring it on. I'm completely happy with this. All right. Now let's move on to Masterpiece news, because we actually got Takara revealing Dia Burnout, Diaclone black repaint of Skids with a brand new head to fit the more, to fit the female character that modern Burnout is classified into. She looks really nice. The mold, I abstain from masterpiece Transformers these days. They're just getting like too expensive, and the characters they do just aren't really hitting me in the right way. But for whatever reason, I did get the red repaint of Skids because I think it reminded me of like an Optimus Prime with if Orion Pax had an Earth mode. I think that's the aesthetic that hit me. But yeah, if you are interested in the mold, it's a really nice mold. It's very well built and engineered. Like, it's a very nice, solid masterpiece toy. I'm happy with it. And the black does look really, really nice. They do try to throw in everything they can with this figure. Got the weapon accessories and let's see, the vehicle mode. Everything opens up on the vehicle mode, which is super cool. It's a little bit alternator. There is a pilot, which is interestingly colored. We have, I believe, is Carly from G1, G1 Carly, made out of, let's call it lemon jello. Let's call it lemon jello because that is a choice of yellow, I'll tell you. I think the shocker on this figure is that it's actually more affordable. Like, every time they reuse this mold, it gets a little bit cheaper than the last time they used it, which is weird, but not unwelcome. This is for those who want to experience masterpiece level engineering and toy, this is actually a pretty affordable one. So yeah, I give it a recommendation. I like how this one looks. Probably not going after it myself. I'm content with just the one, but still, nice that they're throwing in the option. And another masterpiece reveal, Revenge of the Fallen Starscream. So it's the masterpiece Starscream repainted with a few darker tones and all of the Cybertronian tattoos all over both robot and vehicle mode. He looks fine. He looks cool for what he is. I'm really kind of out of love for the movie aesthetic, which if you watch this channel for long enough, you're aware of. I do like that they've gone so heavy on the paint apps on this one. I do think it looks far more interesting than the previous Starscream. Still going to skip it, and again, it's kind of like Burnout. I'm glad that the option is available for those who are collecting it. So that is my take on Starscream. Not going to get him, but it's an improvement. This was the weird story of the week, or it was going to be. Wait on that. Canon cross Transformers. We have a transforming Optimus Prime into a Canon EOS R5 camera. This is weird. This is super weird. Now, it's actually a pretty convincing camera mode. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it actually looks, pretty spot on. So, they did confirm there's a few cool engineering bits about this one, aside from the fact like it even comes with a lens cover that turns into a shield. Let's see, do I have an actual photo of it? See, the back is completely rendered and painted as well. This really would pass for just a normal Canon on your desk. This is the cool thing. So the lens barrel does come off. You can detach it just like the real camera, and that now for the transformation, the arms are contained in the lens, so you do need to have it combined in order to actually transform it. But it's not a part former; it completely transforms. In and of itself when the whole thing is together, which is cool. Really glad they figured that one out. But you have the option of actually like manipulating it like a real camera. I think the first step of the transformation is to even open up what would be the viewfinder, the little mini screen. That's fantastic. There is something a little bit weird about this in that it does come with a Matrix of Leader accessory, which of course it's Optimus Prime. That's expected. For some reason, Canon or Takara, whoever did the design work on this, for some reason they wanted the Matrix to be visible. So you have the most most powerful relic in Transformers, the mark of leadership for the Autobots, the sole container for the greatest source of wisdom and millions of years of knowledge, hidden in plain sight behind one sheet of glass. You know how it's like right there, right, like a nice little target for someone with a laser, just to put a plasma bolt right through it. I don't know. Visible matrices are always a weird choice for me. It looks bizarre. I'm actually kind of into this. I actually am. So it's a weird release, but hey, we were kind of due for a weird release like this. It's been a while since we had anything like PlayStation Prime and that kind of design. I'm into this. But when they first debuted this, they had one teaser image where, okay, they're doing a Megatron. All right. That's pretty obvious. They do Optimus, they do Megatron. All right. Curveball, they're doing Reflector. I would have been so disappointed if they actually did a modern transforming camera that looks like a real camera and it wasn't Reflector. Can you imagine how dumb that would have been? So that is your big rivalry in this crossover. It is Optimus Prime versus Reflector. So one accessory I glossed over in the previous one is Prime does come with like a little mini handheld camera. Reflector comes with one as well, except it's his classic G1 camera. So it's actually cool they worked that in. And also we have, it's a replacement for the Matrix. I can't remember what they call it. Let me go back to the Quantum Dial. So apparently, whatever a Quantum Dial is, it sounds like a time travel device. If I remember my sci-fi terms correctly. No, you trust that to Reflector of all Transformers. All right, I guess so. All right, cool to see Reflector getting a little bit of credit because this is actually a premium item. Like, this is a premium priced item, and especially this version being a Takara Tomy Mall exclusive. I want it. I want the Reflector version. I will probably not be able to afford it. But you know what? If the opportunity arises, this would be really cool. So this was going to be the weird story of the week. And then Hasbro Asia decided to throw a major curveball with a release that's only in China. And this is Transformers Kindergarten. God. No. Nope, I was hoping that was vodka. All right, never mind. I got to get through this sober. All right. All right, so we're doing a Muppet Babies here. We're doing a Baby Looney Tunes. We are babifying a whole bunch of classic Transformer characters. They are very round, very young. Most are wearing diapers. This is one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen Transformers do. All right, so we got 9 in the assortment. They showed off everything. So Prime, Megatron, Bumblebee, Elita 1, interestingly enough, Windblade, and Hot Rod are going to be your common figures. Your uncommon is going to be a Shattered Glass Optimus. Your rare is going to be Beast Wars Megatron. And your super rare is going to be Nemesis Prime. It's not a bad lineup. I'm actually kind of shocked they went with Elita 1 and not RC. I think they're really trying to push Elita 1 more as a prominent female character since she is, a female Autobot leader. Optimus, with his Matrix, blushing tremendously for some reason. Everyone seems to be blushing for some strange reason. I don't know why. See, Megatron. He is hanging on to Kremzeek and has this nice little Energon drink in his hand. Bumblebee is by far the weirdest. Bumblebee is depicted as the youngest one here. So, got like an actual pacifier in his mouth. And for some reason, they decided to actually go literal with him. And Bumblebee is actually designed like a bumblebee. It only took 38 years. Only took 38 years to make that leap. Alright, fair enough. I'll admit, it's one of the cuter ones. It's one of the more interesting ones, certainly. Elita 1 basically looks just like a very young Elita 1, except for, like, her little prop is this little tiny cake of Optimus Prime, because lest we forget, her entire characterization in G1 is Optimus Prime's girlfriend. That's about it. But still, it's kind of nice that they're trying to, like, push Elita as, like, a more prominent female character rather than just, like, shooting out RC over and over. Windblade, who hasn't actually had a toy in quite a bit since Titan's Return, Titan's Return, Cyberverse, let's be fair. But yeah, finally gets a new figure, and it's this, complete with a pair of fans because Japanese aesthetic. Hot Rod is probably going to be a winner for a lot of people. He's fishing, which we do know. He is an avid fisherman. But it's the fact that there's a little Sharkticon caught on the hook. I think that sells it. I think that's just a perfect little touch. Alright. And then everything else is pretty much what you expect. We have a Shattered Glass Optimus Prime. Okay. I will fully admit I want this Megatron. It's the rare version. It's one of the it's the chase figure that's a little bit easier to find. But I think the design on this is absolutely brilliant. Taking his rubber ducky and turning it into a inner tube. Perfect idea. He's got the brush that he brushes the teeth of the Tyrannosaurus with. Perfect idea. Yeah, I think this is a hilarious figure. Someone buy one and send it to me, and then someone buy one and send it to David K. I think if anyone's going to get a kick out of it, it's going to be him. And, yeah, and the last one is just a Nemesis Prime, so pretty standard stuff. What someone pointed out to me, and I love this, is that all of the group shots, you know, the rest of the toys kind of look like they're interacting with each other, while the Prime in the shot always looks like he's trying to show the Matrix to somebody and is really upset that no one is paying attention to him. So, like, you know, here, see, the good one is, like, here where Windblade and Megatron are getting along, and Prime can't get anyone to pay attention to him. It's just a funny little design quirk. They are blind boxed. So good luck getting them. But yeah, this is, I don't know what to entirely make of this. I'm not sure what to entirely make of this. I can't say I don't want one or two of them. But man, it's definitely one of the most left field things I've ever seen. I don't know this. I don't know. Have we done everything at this point? Has Transformers like hit every single possible thing we can do? I don't know. But that's going to be it for this news roundup. Long one. We had a lot of stuff to get through this time. So thank you for joining me. Hope you learned something. As always, this is just me getting my takes out about the news of the week, but I know a few people get their news from this kind of stuff, so I hope you're as like weirded out as I am over the kindergarten line, because that just kind of like made my week, and I could have done a whole video based on that if I really wanted to. But that's the week's news. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining, and I will see you next time. Guys, I am facing the most powerful enemy any YouTuber can face, the algorithm, and I need your help to defeat him. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. Every time you do, we attack that algorithm and we drive it back until it can no longer defeat this channel. Thank you very much.